I want to thank everybody for joining us in. Today we have a quite interesting show. We call this show Confessions of a Retired Player. So for those ladies and gentlemen who want to be part of this to get up on the game, we want to put you down. And of course, today I have my good friend and retired player extraordinaire himself, Mr. Lawrence Peace. How you doing, young man?
What's up? What's up?
Okay. Sounding like you got a little cold there, bro, but we're going to get you there. And of course, Miss thinks she was a player once upon a time. At least she thought she was a player. We have Miss Aversive in the house. How are you doing, my darling?
Good morning. Doing wonderful, everyone.
Doing some beautiful stuff in the back. Our angry black man, Mr. Super Dave.
Hey, y'all, I'm just proud to be a part of the Donald Trump campaign. Y'all vote. Vote good.
Boy, bye. And today we are going to go ahead and get in with part 16 of our series of self-inflicted wounds of relationship. But we're going to have some of those retired players sound in today. And go ahead and throw us some good vibes this way so we can get people in cuffing season fix their relationships. So for those of you, Mr. Head Sanford, are you a retired player, my brother?
Yeah, I've been retired many years, though. Many years.
Many years. Now, that's a safe answer because, you are married.
Right.
I don't want you having to be put out today. So go and talk to us. What goes on in your mind? What makes you decide to hang up your player hat?
Well, you're more stable when you're in a relationship. You don't have to juggle all these women around. Mm-hmm. And you forget stuff, forget names sometimes.
Ooh, does that work in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Does that happen in the bedroom sometimes? You call out the wrong name, or does she? Which one?
And then you have to juggle your time, and then they'll get mad if you're spending more time somewhere else than with them. So, yeah, but then you just get tired of it. You grow out of it.
You grow out of it.
Yeah.
What about you, Miss Aversive? I think you been a sexy player from back in the Himalaya. So maybe you want to talk to the people about how you got down back in the day.
Well, it was interesting, but I decided to retire from my player ways when I got to the point where I just didn't care anymore.
You just didn't care anymore.
My man called my phone. I'd be like, "Look, I'm cheating. I'm with the big man right now. I'm cheating on you, boo. Just call me back. Give me about an hour. I'll be free." So when you get to the point where you just don't care anymore, you just don't care. Just don't care at all. Don't try to hide. Don't try to run. It's just, it'll make you hang up your player ways. I used to have some tricks, but it got to the point where I was too old. I said, I don't even have the energy to carry out the tricks.
Well, you might want to share some of those so
those
your current
tricks.
boyfriend can get a gist of how you're doing it.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Oh, you're not doing that anymore?
No, it's too much work.
Oh, it's too much work.
Too much work. I'm simple these days. Either it is or it is not. So,
So, one of the things with being play, I think that's really correct. I said, what age do people kind of just give it up? Dave, let me ask you, have you ever been a player from back in the Himalaya, my man?
Nah.
So you was always a one-woman man.
Dave ain't claiming nothing.
He ain't claiming nothing. He ain't claiming that high
No
grief.
foolishness. No foolishness.
No, I just, it's, I'm back in my college days.
Back in your
I
college days.
started in varsity as a freshman. No woman wanted me. I was, no one team captain. Nobody wanted me.
Nobody wanted you.
They just, I didn't fit the bill. I wasn't popular and. None of that stuff. So I spent a lot of time in the library and reading and, walking old women across the street, stuff like that.
I don't believe a word you're saying. I don't believe a word you're saying because I'm sitting here and I can only imagine you when you were a freshman in college just starting out. But I see you sitting here as a mature man. You're educated. You're well spoken. You're an attractive man. So I know you were a cute little boy. So I'm sorry that little wide-eyed Opie routine is not going with me.
No, I was cool. It was. I allowed them to partake in me. I didn't partake in them.
Oh, so you just put yourself up to be the buffet?
Yeah, I was serving womankind.
Oh, there you go. Well, see, I have a true story along those lines because when I was that age, when I was in high school and then I graduated and went off to college and started young adulthood, I truly was the person that nobody wanted. I was always the chubby girl. And then you add in these huge, huge eyes that the Lord chose to bless me with. And I was the chubby girl with the funny looking eyes. And true, none of the boys, back in the day, the early 90s, the girls, you had to look like salt and pepper. You had to be light skinned. You had to have a tight butt. You had to be able to wear those, what do you call them little tight spandex pants they was wearing in the Push It video?
Gotta push it.
Yeah, you had to be able to do all that. And here I was the little chubby girl with the strong opinions and the big eyes. And I just did not fit the bill. I never fit into the stereotype of what all the guys wanted.
How little times change, don't they?
Oh, don't they though? Because back then they didn't want me, but oh baby, now.
And wintertime is coming too.
Oh God, my coffee.
Yes.
Oh, my coffee is getting ready to come up when I just heard that. So you're right. I think that's what happens. I think what happens in the play around is that a lot of players just get tired.
Yeah.
You get tired of dealing with 5 different attitudes, with 5 different times of the month, with 5 different you ain't giving me time, with 5 types of I don't never see you, to 5 types of I called you last night, you didn't answer your phone, to 5 types of, what's your problem today? We get tired. You remember that time in the movie Belly? When I don't know if you remember Belly with DMX and Nas. It was
I remember
kind of movie.
one of my favorite.
It goes back in the day. You remember that movie, don't you, Sylvester?
I've never seen the whole movie. I need to watch the whole movie.
You need to watch the whole movie.
I'm gonna pull out my Fire Stick.
You'll pull out your Fire Stick.
Yeah, Netflix or something. I know it's on there.
So. Well, in that case, DMX was, he was, what he was doing was he was sitting in the bar and he had 2 of his little couriers with him. And at the time, what it was that he was instigating one to fight the other. I don't know if you remember that scene. They went in a restaurant in Atlanta. And what he did was he sat there and he tried to instigate one guy to go against him. And at that time, he was on the run. But what he does is he chose to do something foolish to go out here in a public restaurant, upscale restaurant, while it was at, to go and get one of his couriers to go and instigate a fight with another courier. So these clowns, being gangsters and knuckleheads that they were, they go pull the guns out right there in the restaurant, and one shoots the other right there in the restaurant. So the white folks, ah! Nigglets! So they jump and run out the restaurant, and DMX is just sitting there, and he just gets up and he lights up and he just sits there and waits for the cops to come because he was already on the run for the drug bust in the movie, if you remember the movie. But he had to go and disappear from where was he at? Nebraska? Remember that? Omaha. I don't like that.
My favorite.
I'm gonna have to drop it down. I don't like that.
One of my favorite.
Now he was a player. He had the pimp hair. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I love Omaha.
You would. So he gets out there. And, he's in the restaurant, and then what he does is he realizes that he has nowhere else to turn. So what he does is he sits there until the cops come and arrest him, and that's basically what happens to a player. A player is to the point that they just get tired of playing, and they just sit there. And they allow themselves. So you're right. 2 things are going to happen. Either they're going to sit around here and they're going to allow themselves to get caught, right? Because they're going to get sloppy. And usually, really, they're going to get caught because they're going to be indifferent. They're just going to get to the point they just don't care no more. Or 2, they're just going to sit around there and have to have what I call a come to Jesus talk. With one day, they're going to find that one special lady, and they're going to have a come to Jesus talk with the other 4 or 5.
Now, I got some relatives, I'm going to say relatives because if I said, something else, they'll know I'm talking about them if they heard this show. But they ain't out of their player stage and they in their 60s.
Oh, no, some people, don't give
and that's sad.
Some people won't give it up.
That's sad.
Some people will not give it up.
I think a wise player retires.
Yeah.
A wise player retires
Yeah.
because, and that goes for whether the player is male or female, because it gets to the point where you look foolish.
Right.
You know, and we all know, we all got that uncle. He's still holding on to that slick back hair. He's still dapper done. He still got them gators on.
He got them gators.
Yeah, he's stepping out. He cleaning. He's still
come-
trying to be a
He
player.
hollering at your friend, talking about, baby, I want to be your lover.
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
like,
to be your friend.
yeah, and I'm like, Unc, you know, them blue Depends underwear you got on to match that blue suit and them blue gators.
He
Unc,
got them
we-
ga-
we
you know
just-
he has
We
gators.
just need you to sit down. You
That's
know,
a-
Unc,
that-
Unc
that's
pulling
the
out the
sign
flip
is the
phone
gator.
at the family reunion. He think he really doing something.
He got them long socks and shorts.
Yeah, a wise player, I think, retires. I'm sorry, you just life experience and age and time, they just take away the strength of your game, and there comes a time to just sit down. But I do believe that a player should impart the lessons they learned in the game to the young folk.
Really.
Put them up on it,
Yeah.
because they're gonna go through their phase too.
I think we had one of our boys do that in the room.
Put 'em up
He
on.
did that.
Yeah,
He did that. He talked about it.
Really.
You know, as a retired player. myself.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I did for my son.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, my son's a good-looking kid. Freshman in college. He was this sister who was French, ran for the French Olympic team. For whatever reason, she was a junior. He was a freshman. She liked him, so he said, "Dad, I don't really know how to communicate with her. I mean, the way black foreigners are different from black women here." So I said, "Tell you what you do, bro.
What you do?
Tell you what you do."
What you do?
I said, "So y'all gonna go out?" He said, "Yeah, I'm planning to take her out." I said, "Go to the bookstore, buy a learning French language book. All right, you don't even have to read the book. Spend $5 on it. Buy the book, put it in your car on your console. So when you take her out,
Right.
when she gets in the car, she's going to see that book on your console.
Right.
And by mere nature, she's going to be impressed because you decided to take it upon yourself to learn her language to be able to communicate with her better. Knocked it out the park, dog.
I'm sure he
No,
did that.
I didn't mean it like that.
He knocked it out the park.
But with that being said, he comes back and I said, "How'd your day go?" And they ended up dating for a whole year before she moved away, moved back to France. But she was crazy about it because she simply, and he said, he came and said, "Dad," he said, "now I understand you a lot better." I said, "My younger days, young dog,
Yeah,
my
just
younger days." So
yeah, right.
you know, so
I'd tell him it's that pimping.
I was just helping him out.
You just helping him out.
Just
Oh, I
helping
got a
him out.
question. Wait a minute. We got a question written down here. Okay. Listen here. Okay, here it goes. Deacon to Django. Ooh. You referred to me as my birthday. Oh, Lord, look who just walked in the door. Look at that creature right there just walked in the door. Oh, my God. Hello. Now, I don't know if this player retired. Look at him. Look at me in my live feed. Now, he in my live feed. Ron, he was in my live feed. Look at him. I'm glad you could join us today, Ron. You just go and find you a seat and pull up here. We're going to talk about retired playerism, baby. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you made it back in town to join us. Well, thank you very much. You be in and out there. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, incognito. Yeah, that you be doing. Okay, player. Going through that. So, she says, she has a question. She said, Deacon Django. She said, I am in a long-distance relationship with a gentleman in Atlanta. She said, he is very handsome, professional. And
he is in Atlanta?
yeah, that's already trouble.
Oh, okay.
That's already trouble there.
sorry.
Because
Just
I'm going to let you help out.
I'm sorry, just keywords.
Okay. Keywords. Well, I'm sorry. Next time I'll say ATL.
There you
Okay.
go. Okay.
There we go, baby. I'll say ATL. Does that make you feel better?
Okay, sure. Proceed.
Okay,
proceed.
all right.
Okay.
So he's an ATL. He said he's young, professional, handsome, drives a nice vehicle. He said the problem is that every time I want to see him, he's never there.
He's in the ATL.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
He comes to see me, but when I come to Atlanta, he's never there.
Women outnumber men.
We're just going to speak into the mic, young brother. Go on, speak
Women
to
outnumber men in the ATL by how much? Like 4
Like
to 1 or something?
more like 11 to 1.
Oh man, come on.
There you go. He gonna give you a mic. There you go. So you don't have to take anybody. There you go.
Uh-oh.
There we go. So Go ahead, Ron. Now, what were you saying?
What Terry Lynn? Sylvester said 11-1.
Jesus Christ, you fired.
I mean 11-1.
Yeah.
It's about an 11-to-1 ratio from what I've been told
Right.
And he's a young
recently.
man.
And he's a young man.
Well, I think they're in their 30s, and she says he's never home. She says she calls him, and he'll say he's going to bed, and then when she calls him back, he never answers.
Keep it moving, little sister.
Yes, baby. Talk about flags being painted neon red,
Uh-huh.
flashing
come on
red.
now.
There's lights all over the place. He's not answering the phone because he doesn't want to disturb the person who's in bed with him.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that where you did it?
Yes. You don't.
Is that the way you
but
did
what I'm
it?
saying is that you don't. People, you go to bed at a certain time and the phone goes off. You don't answer the phone in the middle of the night.
Especially when you're laying next to somebody.
Exactly. You laying next to somebody. No. You're in a deep sleep. You comatose
And he's
till
in the
after
ATL.
you get in your car the
You're
next
Africa
morning.
comatose. So let me ask you a question. Are there alert signs? Well, let me help you out, baby. Let me help you out. While you up here talking about he ain't answering the phone, I'm trying to figure out how she went to see him, because that's the question that inquiring minds want to know.
Well, you see that she said that he comes to visit her.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
But whenever she's in ATL, he's never available. That would make it seem as if he's living with someone, probably his wife, his husband. There's someone
But it
else
is an
there.
ATL.
It's ATL, so obviously, There is a mate in the picture.
There's a mate in the picture.
There's a mate in the picture. You're not answering the phone on holidays after certain hours. You know, it's nighttime, lights out, phone off.
Yes.
He's never there when you go to
Yes.
his city. Come on, baby.
Baby,
Come on,
baby, come on.
And just get out of the ATL.
What you doing, boo?
Just give up on the men in the ATL.
Yeah, throw the whole man away.
Yeah,
because I think,
and it might be a man, it might not.
Well, let me give you some experience from a player's standpoint. If I'm with you, or we're dating, or whatever we're doing, playing around, and if you always seem to disappear like the Scarlet Pumpernickel after hours, we're gonna have a problem, because my baby need to be by me, or she need to be at home in the bed asleep. And if she ain't at home in the bed asleep, she need to be by the Django. So I've tried and played those games before. I've done that. Talk to my boo, make her get sleep, hit the streets right after it.
And that's the oldest trick.
That's the oldest trick in the book. Right. It's the oldest trick in the book. But then again, let's just be real. You got some people that wait around to make sure that you don't come by
Right on.
when you're in the streets.
Right.
See, a true player knows the player to the game. See, if I'm a player, let me help you out for the people that need a little heads up here. If I know I'm going to go creep on my woman, and I know she's asleep, or at least she's trying to pretend she's asleep, I don't know if she's asleep at all. But I know she's one of them people that knows to get her behind about that bed. I'm going to sit at home for about another 30 minutes, see if I see her drive by. And see, a good player, a true player, will know how to go and find his girl and say, hey, was that you driving by my house?
What if she has more than one car, Mr. Player? Or
Well, you should know all your girls' cars, shouldn't
Or
you?
no, you're not gonna know all her girls' cars. You're not gonna know all her friends' cars, because if she's really wanting to investigate, she won't come investigate in
Really?
her vehicle.
Right.
She'll come in someone else's vehicle.
Right.
You know, I mean, you
Right.
can't hide. We can't hide from him. If people really want to investigate you, they gonna investigate you.
Let me say this here. The true player ain't creeping. The true player has teammates. These women know their teammates. Y'all get along.
Right.
I group text women every morning. Good morning, ladies.
So that's what you do with your...
It's a group text.
It's a group thing. Right. So,
Morning,
right.
beautiful.
Morning, beautiful. I need to borrow your car this weekend.
They don't like
I got
each
something
other,
I got
but
to
they get
do.
along with each other because of Ron done. That's how true players do it.
That's how true players do
That's how we
it.
do it.
That's how you do it.
You know it, Django.
Do I now? Do I really know it?
Look at me. I'm just talking stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. And then you're right. It could be the difference. I mean, you know, if you live in a cul-de-sac, you know pretty much the vehicles that are coming through there. So you're gonna know if a vehicle comes through there that don't seem right. And thank God for overhead and closed carports.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're in a lot of trouble when you can't duck your car.
Right.
People don't understand that. They don't understand that. But see, I'm back in my play day. I was the bold type of dude. I'm the kind of dude I go and get you to out yourself. I go park my car right across school, back in, and go in the house and watch you drive by, and then watch you call me. Where you at, Django? You told me you was going to bed.
I mean, it's all.
I'll be like,
kind of
baby. Go look at the school while you just drove by, because now you just told me you drove by.
Right on.
And see,
Look to the side. There go my car right there, because I knew
it's-
you was coming.
And there's all kind of tricks to the game. I mean, like if you have someone that drives by your house to check and see if your vehicle there, leave all your vehicles at home, and you leave. Get dropped off where you need to go. Your car been at home all night. Leave the light on in your bedroom window. Leave it on.
No, that's gonna make her.
look,
That's gonna make
what
her go
I'm
and knock on
saying
the.
No. What
That's
I'm
gonna
saying-
make her
what I'm
ring the
saying is,
bell 5-6 times. Don't do that.
No. What I'm saying is leave all your cars at home. You at night be like, my stomach was messed up. I just wasn't feeling too good. That
Let me
Popeyes-
write this
that
down, 'cause she
Popeyes
might be
we-
telling us some
that Popeyes
things.
we
Yeah,
ate earlier
right
just
there.
got a sister feeling bad. I'm gonna go to sleep. You leave all them cars. You leave your nightlight on. Catch out. Get dropped off to where you need to be dropped off. Come back before it's time to wake the kids up.
I'm
for
telling
school.
your boyfriend on you, 'cause he knows all this stuff.
I'm just saying.
He
I
knows
mean,
this stuff.
I'm retired now, but
Right
like I
on,
said,
right on.
don't
I
hate
think
the
she's
player.
semi-retired. She too fresh on the game.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, honey.
Don't leave it.
Hide in plain sight.
Gentlemen, do not leave the lights on in your house. You are guaranteed asking for your woman to knock on your door for 40 minutes.
I'm just saying, I had a female associate, and she used to exercise a lot, and she would always go walking. And that was her thing, go walking. Her husband knew she was going walking. He didn't know that she was walking to her side dude's house and getting a great workout, and she walked faithfully. The only time she did not walk was when it was raining outside. But she walked faithfully, and that was her walk. She walked to her side dude's house, got about a good hour workout, and she turned around in her workout clothes. And she'd have a little weights and everything, looking all cute, switching up the street. And that's what she was doing every day. Every single
that's the
day.
thing that's so funny. That's the thing about funny.
And they had like 3 or 4 cars,
Right.
and she was in great shape, and I couldn't figure out
Yeah, she
what
was
this
getting-
whole walk.
'cause
And
she was
finally
getting a workout on a workout.
Yeah, and finally she told me, yeah, that's exactly how she was doing it, and he was never any the wiser because her routine never changed.
But see, hold on, baby, hold on.
She was married.
A true player knows when a routine plays. A true player knows that.
Because a lot of people think that when you change your routine, then you're suspect. See, she did it the opposite. She kept her routine just the same, never changed it.
No,
And
but
her side dude, he stayed close around her to where so that she could walk.
Right.
He didn't stay maybe any more than a mile or a mile and a half from her because it would fit in with their little plan. He wasn't trying to be her main man. She wasn't trying to be his main woman.
But understand this.
The husband decided, I want to go walk with you.
Right.
Well, then, of
But
course,
then,
she
it
would just send a text and they would go
But
walk.
understand this, though.
So it was-
understand this.
yeah.
Hold on, sir. Calm down, my love. Calm down. When you don't change your routine is the time when I'm going to get suspicious. People say, yeah, people change their routine, but there's going to always be a gap somewhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And let me get you to understand this for the true players and the victims of the true players out here, is that a player don't need half a night to handle business. And women know this. A player can disappear for an hour and a half and break it off. Go home, get in the bed, and say I was at home in the bed asleep. But for future reference, fellas, do not leave your light on in your house.
Yeah.
If you out creeping.
Yeah, and we all know the oldest one in the book. I went grocery shopping.
You went grocery shopping?
Yeah, go grocery shopping.
Well, you could probably get away with that in a bigger city that has a lot of 24-hour grocery, like maybe Atlanta or
but then
Dallas
also
or
you
New
don't
York.
have. But also you have to understand you don't have to cheat at nighttime.
Exactly.
You don't have to cheat at nighttime because a lunch break is a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
I know
That's
people that get it
usually
in at their job. I know people that get it in at their job.
Yes, nooners. We
They
call
ne-
that
they-
nooners.
Yeah, they never leave their job.
Yeah.
I know a lady who thought she was really keeping tabs on her husband. No, he wasn't never leaving work, but you better watch them customers
That's
walking
right.
in the door.
And people think that you can cheat right after work. Go get something, come home at 9 o'clock, and look. Let me tell you something. For one of my exes that really thought she was a player.
Right.
If you've been coming home every night, you get off at 5 and you at the door at 6, and you start coming home at 8, 9 o'clock. I hope it was good where it was at, baby.
Right on.
because Django was not born last night. He was born at night. Okay. So, we got a phone call. Yes, this is Django's Player Service. How can I help you?
Am I on live?
Oh, yes, you. Oh, God. Yeah, you are. Hello.
Well, God bless you.
Hello.
I'm trying to get your number.
I'm sorry. Who is this?
I'm trying to get your office number.
Oh, you're trying to get my office number? Well, my office hours are from 9 to 5. You don't know? Oh, you don't know? Well, I'm sorry, don't. I think you may have the wrong number, but what's your name anyway? Hello? Oh, she hung up on me.
Oh man, she had the wrong number.
That poor woman is scarred now.
Yes, she is.
She's just scarred.
Yeah. That you know, I have retired my player hat up a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have. But, you know, so, you know, what do you think? You think I'm telling the truth or what? Do you think
I think everything we said is the truth. There's countless ways to do it. There's countless ways to play it. You know, so
What? What's the verse? Can you read mine? Can you read it? You cannot read it. Lord help, I just. I'll tell you what. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take us a break. See, I tell you, black folks, you try to do the right thing with them and they just mess it up. We're going to take us a break right quick, and we will be back in a second. Devil's Advocate. Of course, we are talking today about the confessions of a retired player. If anybody is a retired player, of course, always feel free to call in and talk to Django.
Django, I think you need to answer a few questions.
Okay.
Just a few.
Okay.
Okay, you say that you're a retired player, right?
Yes, my darling.
But I know you.
You do.
Yeah, so you are retired.
Yes, I am.
Certifiably retired.
Certifiably retired.
May I see your phone?
Yes, you may, my darling.
Okay, so when I'm looking at your phone, I see all these names. Honey Buns. Darkness. Werewolf. Betty Rubble. Chunky Bottoms.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm looking at the notes that you have here by each name. What does GTD mean?
Oh, yes, of course.
Hold on. You need to speak up, sir. What does GTD mean? I'm sorry.
It got it wrong.
I'm sorry, it means what, sir? Speak into the microphone, please.
It means got you wrong.
Got the draws?
Yeah, like I said, dude, got you wrong.
And what does got the draws mean?
What does got the draws mean? Got the draws, okay? Got the draws. You see these right here? Got the draws. That's what I did. I got the draws, man. Oh, man. You want to put me out there, you must ask. I got the draws.
I just want to know why you got the draws in your hand.
Okay, well, I mean, okay, it was a long night last night. So, I mean, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
I want you to put them draws up. That's what I want you to do. First of all, put them draws up. And ladies, if you saw those draws on the video, you need to repossess your property.
Well, anyway, we just want to know if any players out there want to come talk to us about how to make your life happy and retire your playership. Please call us at 855-525-5683. That's for all these retired players. Don't worry, we will keep your name anonymous unless I recognize your voice. Let these players out here. Come on, Rondon, you know what? I want to talk to you, bro.
What's up?
You've been agreeing, but weren't you retired or you semi-retired? Are you retired? Are you still active?
I'm retired with the player status. I'm retired with the player status.
Oh, you retired with the player status?
I still got that status, but I'm retired.
You got that status, but you retired?
Some of his posts be so funny.
It's just entertainment.
Oh, okay.
That's just entertainment.
Yeah,
It's good for the show.
that's all right. I'm just saying. I mean, you just want to have. I mean,
Man, look, the older you get, like, before I got here, somebody said, I think Sylvester said, you you begin to look stupid the older you get.
Then
Out
look
here trying
stupid
to-
the older
yeah,
you get.
Trying to be a player.
Trying to be a player.
Yeah. Right? I
Right.
mean, the older you get.
Well, you're asking me for confirmation. I don't know. Are you trying to say something?
Well, you know, Jago,
Right? Are you
are
trying to
the
allege something?
you are the silverback in the
Say
group.
it, you know,
So.
the older you get, the more stupid you look trying to play the field.
Right.
I'll
Right.
be 50 in 2018.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to give it 5 more years. Then I'm out.
You gonna hang it up? Yeah,
I'm going to hang it up.
you gonna do
Gonna hang it
early
up.
retirement at 55. Huh?
I'm out.
He said he's going to give it 5 more years, bro. You got 5 more years.
Yeah, I'm out.
Wow. Well, you know, it's a good thing that black don't crack. I think you're holding up well.
Oh, well, thank
You're
you.
holding up well.
Thank
We're
you.
going to keep it right. We're going to keep it right, you know.
Uh-huh.
We are told that we have a tendency to look 10 to 15 years younger than we actually are.
Right
So
on.
I think that a lot of brothers and sisters do actually get more miles out of their player status than some people do.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, but I mean, it's like I said, we've spoken about it before. It's a choice. We're not knocking anybody's choice. But, you know, for those that came before us, put us up on game.
Put your
Right,
on.
yeah.
Give us that
You,
advice.
you have any game for the young players coming up there, Mr. Donnelly?
Man, just be honest with the ladies.
Be honest with your lady.
Ooh.
You don't got to lie to kick it.
You ain't got a lot to kick it. Just tell me, you know,
Just be honest.
just say you want to pet more than one shade of fur. That's all you got to do.
Right on.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
That's all you got to
Sometimes
do.
you got to pay to play. Ain't nothing wrong with paying the free bills here now.
I've seen your posts. What, long as they on Section 8? Long as they on Section 8. If you on Section 8, ladies, you need to holler at Ron Dunn.
You
He
gotta
pay,
keep it within your budget.
yeah. He pay rent on the first now. It's a $20 limit, but he pay rent on the first
Keep it
now.
within your budget.
Yeah.
To pay to play. No, see what a real player do. Have 5 females sitting in the living room figuring out what they're gonna buy him for Christmas. Real players don't pay to play. Real players get paid to play.
Okay. Well,
And I have done that before.
right on. I hear you.
I've had them sitting at my parties. 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. You ladies introduce yourselves to each other. Don't get comfortable now.
Like the teammates.
Yeah, then you walk outside, your tires all flat.
What in the world?
And all of them guilty.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to get
Tire
tired.
I
piece,
get
a
that
tire
time.
piece.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Right, and
Tire piece.
and that's why that's why you should retire. Because who get tired at the age of 40 replacing 4 new tires?
I know I did.
Or
Oh, my
a new
goodness.
broken windshield, or a broken back window, or a key
Man.
car. And Sister Serious with these new improved paint jobs, everybody going down to the metal this time. They're not doing just
man.
Yeah.
they
doing
get,
more
than
they
that.
get that key and they hold on to
get
that
it
key for
bugged
dear life. And,
And I'm a living witness. It hurts when you have to buy those tires.
Yeah.
no, it hurt when you got to repaint that car because that key done went all the way down to the metal where you can see the shiny. I mean, not the primer. I'm talking about the shiny metal.
But you know, I
body
never
of the
could
car.
understand that. Why do property damage to somebody?
because
You know,
Yeah.
because it's a way of people frustrating. A lot of times people don't want to hurt you, but they want to strike at you.
may she rest
Or they
in
want to
peace.
humiliate you.
Remember
They
when
want to
Left
humiliate
Eye
you.
burnt that
Yeah.
mansion down?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, only thing worse than that is spray painting your car. Now that'll really mess you up. Who gonna
Yeah.
go run around with HOE on their car all week?
Right.
I know, man.
I've never had my car spray painted, but I've had windows busted out. I've had tires cut. And, you know, my whole thing is if you're going to cut a tire, cut a tire. Don't cut the tires. Don't cut all 4 of them.
No, give them all 4. You gotta get. They gonna get you on all 4.
you
No, because
know.
you can replace one. You call your jump off over there, and he'll go and put that tire. But when you got 4, he's like, "Baby, I can't help you."
I drive
Don't
big
call
trucks.
me for no-
I drive large vehicles, so I'm.
Oh
my
yeah,
tires,
if you got customized.
my
wheels, you in
tires
special
are
trouble.
an investment. I have had sugar put in the tank. I've had
Ugh.
I've had cocoa powder put in the tank.
Cocoa powder?
It's cocoa powder, like Hershey's or what? No, cocoa mix.
Yeah.
like you mix with hot water and when it's Swiss Miss, whatever.
Why would a man
It
want
clogs the engine up. It clogs it up just as good as the sugar. It's just.
I think I better
It's
hire my car this
absolutely,
week.
it's absolutely amazing. You know, I learned a long time ago: keep more than one vehicle.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
don't let them know what you drive.
Yes.
You know, if somebody
Yes.
try to take you out on a date, tell them I'll just meet you there. They don't know how you got there.
Right.
You know, have somebody drop you off. There are ways around it. Sometimes you just have to remain mysterious.
And let's just be real when we talk about players. See, when a player knows it's time to get rid of the game, I'm going to tell you how. Because the first thing a player going to do when he knows he done messed up too many times or she done messed up too many times, she going to paint or he going to paint that victim as the stalker. And he going to paint himself as the victim.
Right, That's true.
Yep.
See, that's what happens when you play with people. And that's why we talk about property
Those
damage.
emotions, right.
Because people they get tired of being taken through the game.
Yep.
And the problem with it is by the time you decide you want to break yourself free of it, you in too deep. You done invested too much into it. You done invested too much of yourself into it. You done invested too much of your emotions into it. You done invested too much of your finances into it. You done invested too much of cursing your parents out time. I love him anyway into it.
Right.
You done invested too much of telling your friends you don't know him like I know him into it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You done invested too much of that. You done invested too much of he not gonna make me look silly into it. You see what I'm saying? And then all that while realize you're the player.
Right.
And the sad part about it is, let me tell y'all something. Some people like that player. Some people want the person that everybody wants. They want that person
Right.
because they want to be the person to say everybody wants this, but I got him.
Right.
I got her. I fought the law, and the law didn't win.
Who's the better? Who's better at playing?
Right, who's better at playing the game? And then you mess around and get mad when you get what you get.
Well, you know they say when people tell you who they are, you should believe them the first time.
But that doesn't stop people. But
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
It doesn't stop people.
You know, and I just love it when someone says, "Oh, I really like you. I want to be with you." No, you don't. I really, no, sweetie.
But
no,
some people is
you
just
don't.
some people is just a thrill. Some people go from thrill
Gluttons from
to
punishment.
thrill.
Yeah.
Gluttons
And that's
for
what players do. They go from thrill to thrill. I had a friend of mine that once told me, he said, if we were out kicking it, and I'll never forget, I was liking this young lady, and we were out kicking it, and he said something to me, and I should have listened when he said it. He said she thinks she a player. I should have listened.
Did she play you?
She tried to.
She tried to.
She tried to. She was good for a minute.
Right. You
But
caught on.
Yeah, but I caught on.
Okay.
I mean, because an old player knows the game.
Right on.
Game recognized the game.
Game recognized game.
And the thing about it was, I was retiring my player hat, trying to be a real dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, trust me, I could have went up there and took her up and through. And look, I'm gonna give you a confession, ladies and gentlemen, from a player. I done took some good women up and through in my life, and that was a bad thing to do. But sometimes that player gets somebody he really want to invest in, and unfortunately, you run into the same person that you have been.
Now, dude, can we call that karma?
There we go.
Oh yes, that's what it happened.
Karma is my favorite.
Is it?
Karma is my favorite because it doesn't
Is
matter
it?
who you are.
Uh-huh.
She will come to visit you, and she never gets the address wrong.
No, she doesn't.
She always gets the correct
And she
number.
always comes as a chameleon too. That's the beautiful thing. Remember, like that song, "Come on, come on, come on."
If I've had 4 wives and I've never been married, does that mean my wife is going to cheat on me?
I'm sorry, bro. After spouse number 2, we pretty much over with. I can't. If you can't 3 times, is not a charm in this case. And I know some people that have been married 3 times, 4 times, 5
5,
times.
6, yeah.
Going for the record.
I used to date a guy that had been married 7 times. Wow. I didn't know it, when I met him.
Of course you did.
I figured he had been married, once or twice because I knew he had some adult children. So I figured, that he had two adult children, and I figured that he
you
was
stop dating
older
him?
than I was, and
Right.
I didn't stop dating him, but it definitely changed my view of him because I'm sorry. So he had 7 wives, and I'm sorry, you can't play the victim after 7 marriages.
You can't
And
play the victim after
especially-
2, basically.
Well, especially when the only consistent thing in all those relationships was him. It's not them, it's him.
So that's the problem,
know.
isn't it, for the player?
Yeah,
Is
and a
that
lot of
the consistent problem in the relationship is the common denominator?
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. And he said, I just want to make you number 8. I'm like,
My philosophy
no.
has always been, don't fix your mouth to say I do when you know your heart is saying I don't.
Don't.
Right.
That's so true. That's so true. But I feel like just like the sun rises and goes down, there will always be people who are players, truly, who get away with it and do very well at it. And by the same token, there will always be those pitiful fools that think they players,
That think they're players.
but they not. They
they're
ain't
not
playing
playing.
nothing but themselves. But as long as they enjoy giving themselves that title, who are we to rain on their parade?
Okay. Right on.
They want to be players.
They want to be.
They want to be a player.
And
no more.
as with anything else, there's way more wannabes than actual.
Yeah, there's way more
professionals.
wannabe.
Yeah.
Because the
In
problem is
life.
you go up somebody that's really done that. And when
Yeah.
it comes to game, most of the real players got a website on it. You
Well-
can just go there and look through my rules.
And most of the real players don't holler about it either.
There
They
you
just,
go.
They just walk in
They
silence.
move in silence.
And move in stealth.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you number 5 in the kitchen.